Plug-in North Central Washington is an all-volunteer nonprofit under the umbrella of the North Central Washington Economic Development District. Initially, the way Plug-in North Central Washington operated was we would purchase chargers with donations, and then we would seek hosts in a location that we were interested in getting electrified, like US 2 here. In some cases, like the Davenport one, Davenport was a really critical link for electrifying US 2 from Everett to Spokane. And so when we talked to people there, no one really had the money to pay for the installation. But the whole community came together.
America Group came in to propose putting the meter here, and we were very excited at the city to have this opportunity to work with the group to connect here.
The city has agreed to pay the meter fee. The utilities charge a set fee just to have a meter, and then the museum, I understand, pays for the electricity that people use when they charge there.
That there was plenty of parking and had restrooms, and we have the Visitors Information Center here along with the museum, so it just seemed like it was the local fit. We brainstormed to look at other areas, and we came right back to here.
Avista, we aligned Avista, and they did the electrical work, and so it was as much volunteer as funds, I think. But yeah, that's the kind of community this is. So,
Plug-in North Central Washington. It's a committee of about 7 people that work hard to encourage people to adopt electric vehicles in all forms, to displace fossil fuel vehicles, and to install chargers around North Central Washington at host businesses or municipalities, with the bottom line being to encourage electric vehicle tourism to this area.
Highway 2, Washington State's most scenic cross-state route, was now electric friendly, and Plug-in shifted into publicity mode. They found willing partners in the cities of Spokane and Everett.
Exciting to be here, and I'm looking forward to hearing about the journey, and also telling that story to a lot of communities across this state, and frankly across the nation, because one of the things we're doing here in Everett, and we're not alone at all, is to start to look at EV charging infrastructure, so that we can anticipate and try to stay abreast of, if not ahead of, the transition to electric vehicles for our community. I think we have a letter.
I think we have a letter, yes.
Well, I apologize for reading it, but it's better that I do, so that we get it right. But this is a letter to Mayor David Condon, Spokane Mayor David Condon, from Mayor Ray Stephenson, who could not be here today, but I was really honored that he asked me to step in for him. He knows my commitment to these issues, and he is also very committed. So, dear Mayor Condon, it's my pleasure to introduce.
The next morning, the letter left Everett in an all-electric 2016 Nissan Leaf called the Coffee Bean, with Ann and Randy Brooks taking turns behind the wheel. They headed east toward the Cascades.
So we have an account with AeroVironment, and for $20 a month we have unlimited charging. So we just swipe the fob, it checks their database, authorizes to charge, and then we plug in and charge. And this is called a DC Quick Charger, a level 3. So this will charge us to 80% in about 20 minutes. This is a level 2 charger, 240 volt, and it'll take several hours to charge fully with that.
Welcome to the Sky Valley. We have some fascinating history here. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Sultan really was named after the local Indian chief.
Refueling an electric car is an entirely different experience. You have enough time to savor the food, see the sights, and dip a toe into local history.
The chief, he was the medicine man, and they just thought John sounded cool, so he became Chief John Sultan. But there's a lot of really great stories, and this little brochure will help you explore the Sky Valley as you head on up Highway 2 and Stevens Pass.
People increased in numbers, and it got to the point where it was almost every day we were seeing owners of electric vehicles come in, and to each one nobody was dissatisfied with their decision. In fact, they were all pretty happy about it and willing to share information about it.
The tunnel was opened up in 1900, and gases from the hot steam locomotives were asphyxiating crews and some of the passengers, so that they decided to electrify.
Washington is the first state to have electric highways, such as Highway 2 and over Highway 20. And it's the whole scenic loop of going over Highway 2 and up back over Highway 20. And we're the first in the nation to be able to do that. And we're getting electrified highways throughout the whole state of Washington. We sent out stories about the charge and let our hosts know when we'd be there. So, if people were curious about electric cars or had one and were thinking about taking longer trips, they could come by and talk to us. It was great. Electric car party at each stop. All right, how did you hear about the Charge Across Washington event?
Well, I heard about it on the radio. I just happened to be listening to KPQ, and I heard about Charge Across Washington, and so that's why we're here.
Do you live here in Wenatchee?
We do.
All right.
You know, Highway 2 is visually the most interesting way to go because you have a mix of the mountains, agriculture, you go through vibrant small communities. The speed limit is anywhere between 50 and 65 in Douglas County.
It had been a long day, but they had crossed half the state. The crew was ready for a good night's sleep in the historic, and some say haunted, Waterville Hotel. East of the Cascades and the Columbia River, Highway 2 passes through miles of rich farmland and incredible rock formations made from crystallized lava carved out by Ice Age floods.
If you want to go to the Columbia Gorge, the best way to get there is via Seattle.
So I was contacted by Plug-in North Central Washington to have a charging station over here, and I thought it was a great addition to the group. We are kind of in the middle of nowhere, 30 miles from any big cities, and of course we want more tourism to the area. We do have a lot to offer. Great Sun Lakes right next to us, Grand Coulee Dam up north, and I thought it was a great addition to our place.
Davenport welcomed the charge crew and gave us a big send-off on the last leg of our drive. Charge Across Washington had an official letter to deliver, opening this beautiful route to electric cars, and no one wanted to keep the mayor of Spokane waiting.
I'm Randy Brooks, and this is my wife Ann, and we
Nice to meet you.
Me too.
We drove a small battery electric vehicle from Everett to Spokane, And I have a letter here from the mayor of Everett commemorating that US Highway 2 is now open to small battery electric vehicle travel.
And it's a beautiful drive.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
And thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to make the
Yeah.
journey.
Thank you.
And we're done.
All right.